with me, so I did the same thing. I prepped really well. I'm 10 hours fasted. I ate really healthy yesterday. I did not work out yesterday because I wanted to just like not have like a fatigued body. So they suggest not to work out the day before, do any heavy lifting. And what else? Obviously eat whole foods, drink a lot of water, all that stuff. So I did all that. So I wanted to just give you the update. There is some very awesome things that I discovered and some very interesting eye-opening things. I'll just put it like that. There's some I'm like low in some nutrients that, you know, it's kind of makes sense because I'm mainly vegan. There's like a lot of omegas that I'm like, when I learn more about it, I will let you guys know, but it makes sense because I'm mainly vegan. So I need to probably supplement with like a DHA or something. So I'm going to end up talking to the counselor when I get all my results in, but I have like, it's something like over 200 biomarkers that are being tested right now. And I did my first one 10 days ago, and then you have to wait 10 days and then do your second round. So I'm doing a whole nother round of biomarkers. So I'm going to actually pull up here, park at the place, and then I'm going to go over what they're going to be testing of me. But I've been really impressed with my experience so far with Function Health, and here's why. They're very thorough with the way that they want you to prepare. They really show that they care about your overall well-being. I feel like in the past when I've gotten blood work done, it's just kind of like, okay, here's your appointment, there you go, right? But here with Function Health, it's like they're like, okay, these are the 10 steps to prepare for your blood work. You want to get your favorite music going, your favorite podcast going. They're like, you want to make sure to eat all your yummy favorite foods. You want to make sure you're calm. You want to make sure, hello Dale, welcome. You want to make sure that you're staying hydrated, make sure you're 10 hours fasted. And then they keep reminding you over and over. They send you a text. So I just got a text about 30 minutes ago reminding you, hey, they've been reminding me every single day, so that way you literally can't forget. Have you ever forgotten a doctor's appointment before and you're like, dang it, like now, like I needed to get that done, I forgot about it, now I have to reschedule again and it's going to be a month out. And so they continuously update you, not in an annoying way. It's just like, hey, we want to make sure you're really prepared, so get ready for it, because you're getting a lot of blood drawn, so I got 12 vials of blood last 10 days ago. And then I think it's because of the constant reminders of like, you're going to get this big amount of blood taken. It checked me in to making sure I was like more on top of like, my fruits, my vegetables, like just like not eating a ton of carbs, like just being extra on it, making sure my nervous system was calm, making sure to stay super hydrated, right? So that's been my experience with Function Health. I also will link them down below. Full transparency, they reached out to me, and I was like, I thought it was a scam, because I'm like, this just looks a little too good to be true. I would get this whole testing done for free, so it's like a $500 value package, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, they're like, we're gifting it to you with the experience. You can tell people about it. You don't even have to tell people about it. It's just, here's a referral link if you care to. Like, that's that. And I was like, what? So I think it's because I'm always talking about health, fitness, and mindfulness on this channel. So they reached out to me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to give a very raw, real, very transparent experience with this. And I'm not going to like, make it seem like, whatever, like, when people just like act like they've used the service and they haven't. So I was like, I'm going to show you guys my journey. So 10 days ago, I went live just like how I did now on my way to the blood work, talking about my experience right before and right after. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to sit and chit chat with you guys for another 10 minutes. And then I'm going to get the blood work, and then I'm going to give you my experience right after the blood work. The first time I got the blood work, it went very smooth. You walk in, it's with Quest Diagnostics, which I'm sure most people know about. It's a very common blood work company, walked in, sat down, or you walk in, it's a check-in kiosk, which is interesting. So it's a check-in kiosk, and you just go in, type your ID in, and they're like, okay, you're in the queue, and then you just sit down and wait, and then a nurse will come up, and they call you in. I think I'm on the other side. I need to go back out. I think I'm on the wrong side of the building. Hold on. Wait, where is this thing? Oh, okay, I'm on. Okay. So, actually, I'm in the wrong area. Okay, good thing it's my appointments, I'm way ahead of time. So, when you also check in, your name pops up on the screen, but not your full name, just your initials. So that way other people, you know, don't, like, that are sitting in their waiting room, it's still private. And then so your name is sitting there kind of like you're at the DMV, you know, and you just wait. You have your iPod. Remember, they reminded you, okay, bring your iPod, bring your iPod. That's so millennial of me to say. The iPods even exist anymore. Bring your phone and your headphones so you can listen to your podcast. That's what I'm trying to say. So you do that. And then what else? So that way while you're waiting, you're just sitting there calm, you're hydrated. They call you in. I really hope I get the same nurse. She was just like bubbly and fun. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, so, you know, they start finding veins and all that. And that's when the anxiety starts to hit you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is why I don't like to do this. Like, and then I was like, I can't look. And she's like, no, don't look. So she's like, looked at the way and she's like, and she's like, breathe out. And then when I breathed out, she just pushed it in, and I was good to go. And because I was so hydrated and prepared, and I didn't overwork my body the day before, my body was like in a really good state to have a lot of blood drawn very quickly. Like, I was shocked with how quick my blood was coming out. Like, it was, I know this is like a lot, this is very TMI, but it was like, because they had kept reminding me, okay, eat healthy, stay hydrated, your blood work is coming up. Like, and people take it very calm. Like, if you're just getting like a little, you know, like a little bit of blood, little prick, I get it. You know, you don't need to do this like massive prep. But when you're getting 12 vials, like a vial is like as big as my finger, 12 of those getting drawn out. So you got to make sure you are really prepared, because you can really like pass out, like you can really be in a bad position. So I think because they had reminded me so much about it and gave me really specific steps, which I'll go over it with you guys, like I'll read it verbatim of what they told me to do. I was in and out. So I'm hoping that's the same thing. I did the same exact thing. I followed the steps. And so I'm going to sit down. Hopefully it goes quick, you know, like it did last time. They were able to find a vein super quickly, and I'll be good to go. So yeah, it's with Function Health. And what it is it's an entire huge panel, like over 200 biomarkers of all the different functions of our body. And it's kind of like fascinating to know that you can test all these things just from your blood. 200, 300 biomarkers just from drops of blood. Like, it's very, very fascinating. So there's some stuff I'm proud about. I'm like, ooh, okay, I feel really good. And I'm, you know, you guys, I'm headed for the big 4, the big 40 next coming up in February. And so I just needed to like not do the basic, you know, must-have type of blood work every year that, you know, we get. I needed to do like a humongous like life check. That's what I feel like this is, like going into the next 50, 60 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to really understand what is going on with my body. And on the outside, everything can look fine. But on the inside, you know, you just don't know. Okay, things are starting to go a little awry over here. And I have, you guys, literally, one of the biomarkers, I just couldn't help but laugh, because I'm like, I have zero symptoms. Like, I feel in my body that I have zero symptoms of this. So I had a biomarker pop up on the chart being on the high side for cholesterol. but it makes sense, you guys. And I wouldn't have known this. And I'm like relatively in the bigger scheme of life, still a young person. And I'm like over here having high cholesterol. Like what? But it's because you guys, I season up my vegetables because I'm mainly plant-based. So I'm like, I get satisfaction out of like a lot of like sauces and a lot of butter and a lot of, olive oil mixed with a ton of sea salt and a ton of cilantro lime. And I just really zhuzh it up like extra, extra, extra. And my cholesterol spiked. Like sodium, like too much sodium, pretty much. So, I'm over here thinking like, okay, well, I'm eating healthy. I'm just seasoning up my vegetables. I'm seasoning up my lentils. I'm eating healthy, but you can go too much, right? So that's why this is a really excellent, actually, let me park this other way. This is a really excellent test because it's helping me identify, okay, I need to calm down on that, right? Because it can start to push your, when you're in your, like things like this is why people have issues in their late 50s, in their 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like, so right now I'm running around, I'm feeling 100%, I'm feeling great. But then I turn 58 one day and then it's like, oh, well, now I have this concerning heart condition. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know for the last 20 years, I was just seasoning, thinking, oh, well, I'm eating healthy. And, seasoning, it doesn't, there's not a lot of there's no calories in seasoning basically. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gaining a bunch of calories. I'm just like seasoning up my food. No big deal. I work out essentially almost every day. You guys know that. And I'm like, I'm fine. Nope. On the biomarker, it was like, ding, ding, ding. Your cholesterol's starting to get on the high side. And I'm like, wow. So I love this because it's just kind of like going to get me back in alignment, get me back in harmony with like, okay, what do I need to pay attention to? What do I need to cut back on? What do I need to do more of? Another thing that I saw, because slowly the results are coming in from my last test from 10 days ago. Slowly testing is coming in and there was some omegas that I'm like low on, and it makes sense because I don't eat fish. So you get a lot of omega, like your omegas from fish. And I eat a lot of blueberries and stuff like that, but I might need to start taking fish oil and take some kind of, just some kind of supplement. Or if I eat fish once a month or something, I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel about it. But it's like, it makes sense because I don't have fish. So then I'm over here like, well, I don't eat fish, whatever. But it's like, okay, well, that's fine. But like, you need to make sure you still have your omegas, period. Like whether you get it from seaweed, and you make sure to always have seaweed in your cabinet. And I love seaweed, actually. I really like it a lot as like a snack. So there's just little things like that like we don't think are a big deal, or I wouldn't know to go in for that, right? I wouldn't know to go in and test out my omegas because I don't, like, there's nothing I feel that's triggering me to go get that done. But then seeing it on the results, I'm like, yeah, I need to start taking fish oil. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be smart about this. Has your mom or dad gotten any health problems you could have inherited? Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's some things on my mom's side. There's some things on my dad's side. What's interesting, so we'll see in this round, we'll see if anything pops up. In the first round of blood testing, nothing came up of the stuff that runs in my family. It's kind of like the typical things, like, my grandfather he passed away from cancer. My grandmother passed away from dementia. And then my dad's side, my grandma on my dad's side, she just kind of passed away from old age. Like, unfortunately, my dad is not very like elaborative with those things, and there's a language barrier there. So it wasn't like I was, my grandmother only spoke Punjabi. So she just like passed away from just like deteriorating. Like, she still had her mind, but she was severely overweight. She might have had diabetes. So I might jar my dad's, like, I might be like, Dad, I really need to know, like, all the siblings need to know, like, what is stuff that runs in the family. But he just said she just passed from old age. I'm just like, okay. And when you have a very strict Indian father, you just don't keep probing. Like, you just give it some time and revisit it. You have to find a good time to ask certain questions. So anyways, but my dad, he's a relatively healthy man, actually in his 60s, but there's some things there too that I got to pay attention to. So, but none of that popped up on my first set of results, which is excellent. And I'm going to be, the big 4 zeros coming up. And it's good that nothing's popping up in my system from what my parents could have inherited. And same thing with my mom. So issues that my grandmother had, my mom does not have, which is really, really good. So we're doing the right thing. I'm heading in the right directions, right? Hello, welcome, Marlies. Welcome. The Philippines. That's amazing. I don't think we've had anyone from the Philippines pop into the Embody Pursuit tribe. Welcome, subscribe. Okay. Oh, wow. That's an interesting comment. Oh, I appreciate it. I was like, what? What did I do? So, okay. I'm going to go over really quickly. Oh, what? I was just shocked. You don't really get told that often. So this is what they're going to test me for right now. So for everybody coming in right now, I'm getting 12 vials of blood taken out of my body in the next few minutes. Thank you so much. So, okay. Drop hints. Maybe your dad will speak about it a bit more. You need to know. Yeah, exactly. I think where my dad is now, because we had the conversation maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I'm going to ask him now, because it was, and you never know, he lost his mom, so that could have been just too much for him to talk about in general. Me being well, what did she die from? And it's just a lot. And she passed away in India, and so I think it was a sensitive topic in general, but I think he's okay with it. So this blood work, that's another thing. This blood work is just triggering me to, talk to my dad now, and really dig in. Okay. So this is what they're going to be testing me for. And I'm going to share this with you right now. And this is your reminder. I am going to link them down below. Either get your blood work done with your primary care doctor, but get a huge panel. If you already have your insurance, this is your reminder to get a huge panel done. It's not a joke. And see how they're already reminding me. So they just emailed, or they just text me right now. By the way, last time they text me, when I was done with my appointment last time, they text me, they said, your function lab, let me see. They said, they were take this moment. This is what they literally sent me. They said, take this moment to congratulate yourself on finishing the function lab visit. You've done something to begin unlocking the secrets of your biology, and it's exceptional. Today, remember to eat foods rich in vitamin, beans, eggs, meat, Stay hydrated and relax. If exercising, we recommend no heavy lifting. Instead, consider a light walk or gentle stretches to keep the body in motion. Right? So this is they're sending me all these things, and I'm this is cool. So again, this is your reminder. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just genuinely saying my exact experience with Function Health. I'm more impressed than I thought I would be. I'm it's just blood work. It's just blood work. I'll just go to the normal doctor. But this huge panel, and then okay, so this is the next thing. They're just so how detailed this experience has been. I'm just whoa, okay. So yeah, so there's some things. So again, I'm just going to show you guys. So this is my biomarkers. It's slowly coming in. There's 25 that are in range, which is excellent. There's 9 that I need to work on. And it's the ones that I was talking about with my cholesterol and the omegas. There's different kinds of cholesterol, and then there's different kinds of omegas. I didn't know that. How would I know that unless I was genuinely interested? So, so this is really good too. My stress and my biomarker for stress and aging is really, really strong, which is awesome. So I'll go over all this kind of stuff in a really huge, I'm going to really sit down and go over this with you guys, but this has been really awesome. So now, so I had the first, my autoimmunity is really excellent as well. My autoimmunity is completely green. So it's just nice to know, like, the things that I talk about, the stuff that I've been talking about with you guys, I'm living it. I'm embodied with it, right? This is an embody pursuit. We're always in pursuit of embodying that next level. I'm actually in the embodiment of it. And I'm not perfect, right? Because the cholesterol and the omegas are what I need to work on, right? So, so this is Function Health. This is the service that I've been using. And I encourage everybody to at least read about it. And if if it's kind of like, it's an investment, right? But it's like, this is for my life. Like, you don't want to mess around with that. This is for your life. So you get a check like this. You don't really have to get checked on a big level like this. I mean, I'm not a doctor. Maybe a doctor might say, do this every year. But I think at least every 3 years, you want to do a huge panel on this level. So, okay, now where's my... okay, so home. Okay, so this is my second lab visit. And so they tell me what to do before my visit. This is all the stuff that they tell me to do before my visit. So they break that down really nicely. So they told me to avoid seafood. Perfect. Stop all supplements. I didn't take any supplements yesterday. Okay, let's go EP tribe. Let's go. No supplements. It says at least 72 hours before your visit. So I didn't do that. Enjoy a light, healthy meal prior to fasting. So boom. And I fasted for 10 hours, but it says that fast for 8 hours, but I fasted for 10 so far. Avoid exercise 24 hours before. So, it's like they keep telling you, reminding you on what you need to do. Morning of the visit. Okay, morning of your visit, bring your identification, arrive 10 minutes early, so I'll be on time. 30 minutes estimated visit time. They tell you how long to estimate for your visit time. So they say 30-minute, each visit lasts about 15 minutes, but plan for 30, so you're already prepared. It says, literally, it says play your playlist. It says chill music for your lab visit. Listen on Spotify. Like, it just gives you ideas, which is cool. This is how much blood I'm getting. 10 to 12 vials. 10 to 12 vials of blood. After visit, they tell you what to do. They tell me what to do after my visit. And then, so yeah, so if anyone's interested, I will link it down below. Just letting you guys know that if it's something that you're wanting to tap in with. This has been a really eye-opening experience for me. So we'll see. Now, this is what I'm going to quickly just run through very quickly the biomarkers that they're going to go over. So it's all this. All these biomarkers are what I'm getting tested today. All these biomarkers, all of it. A huge amount. So they're going to be testing my blood. So my red blood cells, my hemoglobin, my other hemoglobins, my RYZE, my rhesus, I think it's a RH factor. Clearly, I don't know about none of these things, but there's about 10 to 12 different things of my blood that they're going to be testing. My electrolytes, so my chloride, my sodium, my carbon dioxide, my potassium, my magnesium, my calcium. They're going to test my heart. 15 different things in my heart. So we're going to see what's going on with that. They're going to test my heavy metal levels for mercury. They're going to test my immune regulation. So 12 different biomarkers with my immune regulation. They're testing my kidney. They're testing my liver. They're testing my metabolic. They're testing my metabolic. So uric acid, insulin, glucose, and hemoglobin. They're testing my nutrients, my iron, which I'm sure I'm low on iron because that always pops up. So I need to figure that out. Hopefully it doesn't come up. They're going to test my stress aging with cortisol. So they're going to see what's going on with that. They're going to test my thyroid. They're going to test my urine. So TMI, but they're going to test my urine. There's a bunch of stuff that they're testing in the urine. like 20 different things in the urine. So there's that. So it's a lot. It's an entire body scan, like for real. So that's what's going on. I don't know what this means. In the urine section, they're going to test specific gravity. I don't know. That's what? Like, you're going to test gravity in the urine? Specific gravity. Very interesting. So I better load up on the water. All right. So I'm getting the urine and the blood today. Yeah. So that's what's going on. So that's been my experience. It's literally testing everything. Like, and then the first one, they test, so that, okay, so this is the second test. All this that they're testing, a massive, massive blood work. Then my first one, my first test, okay, they tested, where's it at? I just accidentally signed out. I mean, essentially, you guys get it. They tested a huge amount of biomarkers. There we go. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to like show you the list, but okay, so this is the first test, and they tested a lot of feminine, you know, like I had to go in on my cycle. So that's TMI, but you had to get checked out while you were on your cycle because they're testing the feminine aspect of what's going on with the health in that regard. And yeah, so that's what's going on. So I will get right back on after I get done. My experience with Quest Diagnostics. So Function Health is the service that really does the deep dive. And then once I do all the blood work and all the results come in, I'm going to get with a Function Health representative or doctor, someone to go over the entire results with me. And then the blood work service that they use is Quest Diagnostics. So right now I'm going to go get my blood work with Quest Diagnostics. Last time I got my blood work done with them, I had a great experience. It was easy peasy lemon squeezy. So yeah, that's really it. So I will let you guys know. I'll pop back on in a little bit. So if you guys want to know how my blood work went, stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe, turn on your bell notification when I pop back on, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.